welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and some of you have been asking for it, so here it is, the Hot Wheels Star Wars First Order Heavy Assault Walker. Now this bad boy is number 9 in the Last Jedi die-cast collection from Hot Wheels. Now for the size, it is almost 3 inches tall, and that is perfect. It's very nice in the collection, as we'll see when I compare it to some other walkers later on in the video. Now for the name, it's labeled as the First Order Heavy Assault Walker. However, it has 2 other names. The fan base likes to call it the Gorilla Walker. I call it that too. It makes sense. Its back arches like a gorilla. It has bigger front legs. I accept it. Now the other name is the one Disney released, which is the ATM-6, which stands for the All-Terrain Mega Caliber 6. A lot of people hate that name. Some people like it. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I just accept it. It sort of makes sense, I guess. It's all-terrain, and it has a giant turret on the top here. From a First Order standpoint, they're learning from the Empire's mistakes, or I should say learned. They built this thing so tow cables wouldn't work, and anything that's coming in front of this, it looks like it's going to be destroyed. It's got the guns that we're used to in the front, and now this giant turret right here in the back. And then in the back here, we have some crazy little bumps, which I don't know what they are, and I can't wait to see. I hope there's some sort of grenade or something like that, but time will tell when the movie releases in December. So like I keep mentioning, this is in the Last Jedi collection, so it's going to be first seen in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now we do have a lot to cover. We're going to look at the mold, the paint, put it on a stand, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Starting this review off, let's take a look at the mold. Basic parts before I zoom in to show you guys the main detail. We have our head. We have our blaster cannons, medium blasters on the sides, viewport, our main cannon up here, the Mega Caliber 6, and then we have our nice legs. Very interesting. Yes, they're hollow, which is a shame, but I don't know, I guess they're trying to save money some places. And then we have our main body, nicely done, like those panels. Good back. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I have no clue what this device is yet, but it looks very interesting, nicely detailed. And that pretty much does it for all the main details, so before I zoom in, let's look at the bottom. On the bottom of the ATM-6, we have 2 screws holding it together on the bottom. Copyright crap. We have some nice details right there. I love lines like that. We have our cockpit access tube, very similar to an AT-AT, and a rivet in the head. So let's get up close and personal with this ship. Looking at the head of this, we can see some great little tiny details packed in there. Our guns, our side blasters. Very nice. I like the top here, all these little panels and shapes. Very interesting. Look at the bottom real quick. Very cool. Nice. Looking up close and personal to this body, we can see that cool cannon recessed in there. And I must say, I do like that a lot. You have some great designs right there. And then over here, it's very similar to an AT-AT. We got our windows, little recesses, panels. I think that came out really nice all around, like this section here. Now for the top, we have these sections here, very nicely done. And look at this, even lines on the inside. Very nice attention to detail there. And little dimples on the top right there. Very nice. And I have no clue what these are. I like to think they're grenades. Maybe it catapults them. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But they have some nice details on there as well. Then we have some nice designs on the back. Same for this side. So now let's take a look at the legs. Now looking at the legs, very similar to an AT-AT until we get to the bottom. And that's where everything changes. Big pistons, different feet. But nice details. This should be like hollow, but whatever, it's fine for what it is. And then the front, I can't wait to see how these walk and move. Very nice, big piston here. It almost looks like a claw, like a sloth. Very interesting. Nice details in the front. I like these sections here. Very cool. And all I could say is, wow, such a crazy amount of detail packed into here, even on the inside. Now, speaking of this area, since we just looked at the legs, I must say that the articulation on this particular piece is almost nil. The head does not move. The legs, barely. Barely. Like, I guess you could have it do something a little different, but the legs, see how they're all flat? They're predetermined to sit in one type of pose, so I don't even get why you can move them. Very similar problem with the ATACT that had legs that were pre-posed as well. But whatever, it's nice they give you, I guess, the little playability if you're a child. Whatever, pretty cool. So that does it for the mold. So now let's dive into the paint. When it comes to the paint of the ATM6, we do have several different colors, or should I say shades of gray. We have a molded plastic, which is gray, and that is for the legs and the guns on the side. Then we have a different shade of gray, which is basically a normal light gray, right here for the body and the head. On top of that, we have a darker gray for the panels. And then on the top, we have a dark gray, which is metallic, and that is also right here for the gun. And then we have a medium metallic gray for that section there. And finally, a light metallic gray for the neck piece right here. And all in all, very nicely painted ship. And the last color is red for the viewport, similar to the AT-AT. And that does it for the paint. I think it looks pretty damn good. So now let's put this bad boy on a stand, compare it, and we'll be done for today. Now, just like most Hot Wheels ships, it does come with a stand, which is pretty cool, first order symbol. However, it does not connect. So all you do is you put it on like so, position it how you want it, and you're good to go. For comparison with the ATM6, I have it next to the AT-ACT from Rogue One, also by Hot Wheels. And right here I have the AT-AT, also from Hot Wheels, and these guys go great together. Now I put them like this so you guys could see how much bigger each walker gets. We have our AT-AT, the AT-ACT is a little bit bigger, and in the back we have our ATM6, and it just towers over them at almost 3 inches, so it's pretty cool. And I like this because in the films, the cargo walker was bigger than the AT-AT, and the newest walker is bigger than all of these. This thing is like an elephant. It's massive. So awesome job on Hot Wheels' part. Very cool to see all of them together. And that does it for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars First Order Heavy Assault Walker. Now a little recap. This is number 9 in the Last Jedi Hot Wheels die-cast Starship range. For the size, it is almost 3 inches tall, which we saw compared to the other 2 walkers, a nice size. I really dig that a lot. Now, what are the pros of this? Obviously, the detail. Every time I look at it, I just see something new. Now, for the paint, some people would say, well, the legs aren't painted and this and that, but it doesn't look bad. I think they did a nice job on it. Comes with a stand. That's just a little icing on the cake. You have a great model, and you want to unite it with the rest of the Hot Wheels line. They give you a base, and that makes everything look like it belongs together. And for the price, I got this for $4.99 at Toys R Us. Now, if you guys are looking to buy these, I would really suggest Amazon, Toys R Us. I have not seen any in any Walmarts in my area. I have not seen any in some Targets in my area. However, I was in Best Buy and I saw a whole display of the Last Jedi toys, and they had a whole rack of Resistance bombers and Millennium Falcons, and I think one Slave One. And I'm not gonna lie, I picked up one of those Resistance bombers like a little kid in a candy store because that was the only one I was missing. So keep your eye out for those places. Now for the cons, I personally don't have any, but I can see some collectors and some children complain that the articulation in the legs is crap, or there is none in the head. But I don't play with mine. I like to put them on the shelf and look at them. So for me, that's okay. But for a kid, they might not like it so much. That's just my opinion. So I would recommend this ship for anybody who's a fan of the new Star Wars trilogy, fans of the Empire, the First Order, Walkers. This thing is pretty cool. And that's basically all I have to say about this ship. So thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the review, hit that like button. And if you would like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.